Hi guys, I'm Courtney Scarlett. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am a very lucky girl today as I have finally got my hands on the Ducati Diavel V4. This bike I've been waiting at least a year and a half to finally get my hands on it, and so far it has not disappointed one bit. I mean, even my husband ended up riding this bike before me as he got to test ride it at ABR, so I am super excited to finally roll this bike out. So let's go for a spin. Okay, so out on the Diavel. I'm going to make sure I say that correctly. I don't know what it is with the Ducati Diavel, but for some strange reason I just have a mental block when it comes to the name, and I always want to pronounce Diavel as Diavel, Diavel, you know, anything besides what it actually is. Diavel. It helps me when I imagine it spoken in an Italian voice as opposed to my own London. Diavel, mate. That's not quite the same. So yes, I would say that's probably the two major things that will be a major holdback in terms of me ever buying this bike. The fact that I can't pronounce the name of it, and the price, of course, because it's a little bit out of my price range. This V4 2024 Diavel is, I want to say it's 23,500 and about 300 quid more, taking it almost to 24,000 for this black edition, which if it were me I would absolutely go for the black all day long. I just think it looks cooler. If I had a Panigale or a Street Fighter, I'd be owning it in red, but Diavel for me in black. Riding position wise, I'm at the lights at the minute. We just whack it into neutral. Riding position wise, can you tell or not, I am, as I quite often am on cruisers, sat quite far forward on the seat. Just because I have learnt from riding many cruisers that I have short arms and long legs. I'm 5'6", but yes, I'm a very short-armed 5'6", which means that, yeah, just quite often I end up having to sit really far forward. And on this Diavel, I'm having to sit really unusually far forward, which means I'm not really gaining the benefits of this nice high-backed seat, which should make me feel all sort of secure and locked in. Not really getting that effect personally, just because it's just a little bit of a stretch. So you need to be on the taller side, or like me, you're going to want to maybe move things about to make it a bit more comfortable. But if you're an average rider out there, this is a nice, pretty comfy riding position with mid pegs. It is my husband. He took this for a ride at ABR, and he is 6'1". He was perfectly happy and comfortable on it. So I guess anywhere between our heights, you're gonna be super comfy on this bike. So when I went to pick this up from Ducati at Silverstone, I made the really silly decision to put it in touring mode, which I would never normally do. I normally always want the bike in sport mode, and I want to ride it at its most fun, in its most fun state and setup possible for the first ride. But no, I don't know really what I was thinking that day. I decided to put it in touring mode, probably because, as it always does happen for some strange reason when I go to collect Ducati, it suddenly started raining, which just meant, unfortunately, me and this bike didn't get off to the best start, and I really just wasn't enjoying it in touring mode. I think I just got the total wrong end of the stick of what this bike's about, putting it in that setting, and I quickly pulled over and put it straight into sport mode, and then I had a very different bike for the remainder of my journey home. But that was at 5 o'clock on a Thursday, I want to say, so it was rush hour time. I didn't really get to really open it up or make use of this powerful V4 engine. So I'm excited to take Diavel out today and give it a proper run in. although I need to get to some decent roads first. So far, I am still just plodding about.
In 2023, Ducati ditched the old V-twin and relaunched the bike with its new 1158cc Gran Turismo V4 engine, taken from the Multistrada. It produces 168 brake horsepower and 126 Nm of torque and can do 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. Although, like other V4s, it has this cylinder deactivation which cuts the bike down to a twin below 4,000 RPM in every gear apart from first, and then gives you the full V4 insanity anything outside of that. It weighs 223 kg, which is 15 kg lighter than the older V-twin, and it has a fully adjustable suspension, which is okay but not great. And it has Pirelli Diavel V4 on both the sports bike sized front and massive muscle cruiser back tyre. It has incredible stopping power with these Brembo Stylema brake calipers, and I mean really good stopping power, and comes with an insane electronics package with the most advanced array of fully adjustable riding modes I've ever seen, power modes, cornering ABS, traction control, wheelie control, quick shifter, power launch, cruise control, and a 5-inch TFT connectable colour display and full LED lighting system. So it's a lot to say, let alone actually use. The only real competitor for this bike is the rocket-free Storm, but to be honest, as much as they have their obvious similarities, they actually have quite a different presence and feel on the road. The Diavel feels far sportier. I mean, it's still a big bike, but it feels much smaller than the Rocket. It's nimbler, more sporty, and feels less of a cruiser. Even the riding position isn't your typical cruiser style. It feels much more upright and more of a looks more kind of roadster. And probably due to that cylinder deactivation, the bike delivers power well at slow speeds and is super smooth and obviously incredibly powerful. It's the most sport bike-like you're ever going to feel on a cruiser on the market today, and despite that back tyre, it handles incredibly well. Pillion comes as standard on the Diavel, and it has a retractable grab rail and flip-out pegs. And of course, since you've probably already taken out a finance package to buy this bike, of course, you can add a whole bunch of touring, performance or cosmetic accessories if you want to as well. And like I mentioned on the ride, it's just over 23,500 for the Ducati Red and almost 24,000 for the thrilling black option.
So I have absolutely loved my time riding the Ducati Diavel V4. I was absolutely not disappointed whatsoever with this bike. It is a hell of a lot of fun to ride, and I do absolutely love the look of it. I do still think it doesn't quite fit in that kind of cruiser category in terms of the looks. It's a beautiful, stunning bike. I kind of see it like a mythological creature, or a mythological beast, kind of half cruiser up front and then sports bike at the back. I do think over the years with the different generations, they've made the bike look much more harmonious. So for me, the one I would want to buy is this 2024 V4 edition. But overall, like I said, an absolute joy to ride. It's a real head turner. Everybody wants to stop and talk to you on this bike. You don't see enough of them out on the roads, I don't find. It's not a bike that I see very often, so it does feel really special, really premium. It's got an amazing electronics package. It rides incredibly well, smooth handling, everything you could want in a bike and more. If you want to slow yourself down, this probably isn't the cruiser for you, but overall, I absolutely love it. Like I said, it does sit in its own category for me. Not quite cruiser, definitely not a sports bike. Wouldn't even quite class it as a muscle cruiser either. It definitely stands alone, and I think Ducati have done a hell of a job creating this bike. It's a bike that I think no one necessarily knew we wanted until they brought it out. And yeah, like I said, there's only two things really holding me back from owning this bike. The price, and I'm definitely going to have to get a little bit better at saying the name Diavel. Thank you so much to Ducati UK for loaning me the bike, and thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.